But so the video talked about it gets into the local group and the sad fact that we can never leave the local group because the universe, the way it's made, resources are not that concentrated. They're not in chunks in one place. They're all scattered in, very small packets, and
Right.
that we don't have enough resources in the Milky Way galaxy to, even if we took all the resources, we don't have enough to travel to another galaxy. So that's kind of a problem because you need to build a ship possibly that can travel for, say, 4 million light years, right?
Yeah.
So once you get on that trip, you run out of resources and you're just stuck in the middle of
Yeah.
dark nothingness.
Or nothing.
So is that a limit? And that's why we don't see anybody visiting us from another galaxy because
It is.
it's not possible.
And where it gets even more tricky, as you're traveling to a different galaxy, the space in itself is expanding.
Yes.
So it's making your trip even harder to reach there. What is 4.5 or 4 million light years away could end up being 5 or 6 because the universe is also stretching,
Constantly.
and you got to factor that math in.
Right.
Then even makes it even difficult to get in. And the best example that I ever read about expanding universe is if you imagine that you're cooking a loaf of bread, right? And put a loaf of bread in the oven, and you put a bunch of raisins on top. Those raisins are your galaxies, and then as soon as you start baking the bread starts to expand, and the raisins might have been literally right next to each other touching, but now that this bread is expanding, the raisins are getting further and further away from one another.
Right.
That's what the expansion of the universe is,
Yeah.
and it's accelerating faster and faster, and we don't know why. It's like throwing an apple up, and it goes up forever and never goes back down, and it goes up faster and faster. That's the rate of expansion there is, and it gets to also the sad part of, we're expanding so fast, farther away from one another, that our other distant galaxies in the future will fade away. We will only see our own galaxy, and our future ancestors, if they were looking at a telescope, they won't be able to see the Big Bang radiation that we see now. They won't be able to see different galaxies that we see now. For them, they will just see completely nothing, and the whole universe for them will just be this galaxy that they see now, because the bread has expanded so far that the light traveling from other galaxies in the universe can't ever reach us anymore.
Right.
To a point that this is all there is.
That's
it.
it.
Yeah, this is all there
And we
is.
don't even realize there's other galaxies. We just think we're in a sea of nothingness forever.
They might mock us for thinking there was other galaxies right next to us. They're gonna think, oh, these ancient civilizations were so stupid.
Just like we look at Zeus and all these things today, they're like, these guys had no idea what they were talking about.
Look at these fake artwork that they created, thinking there has to be other.
Planet X, but Pluto.
Or even Andromeda, or other neighbor galaxies that we have. Those future ancestors will ask, if these things existed, where is the evidence for this, right? Or where these civilizations were on mushrooms, or they're tripping, they saw all these, they looked at their current galaxy and they pictured other galaxies around them. Or these guys were just on some sort of drug and they were tripping balls, and they create these wonderful art images of galaxies all over the place.
Right.
But that's the future.
Yeah. Well, I think we're still very primitive. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. We have many more videos like this in the works. If you hit the subscribe button, you can get all those videos as soon as they're up. You can also follow us on Facebook to stay up to date on the goings on. And if you're interested in a more long-form version of these kinds of topics, check out the Mind High podcast. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you again very soon.